Hello everyone, we are from Group 8 from Tourism Sociology are going to present and show to you guys about our chosen sociologist. His name is Bronislaw Malinowski. We can sure you guys want to know who he is. So, now I will bring you guys to the time travel capsule and take you all on a journey through time to know what is the history of Bronislaw Malinowski life is. Bronislaw Malinowski was one of the most important anthropologists and sociologists of the 20th century who is widely recognized as a founder of social anthropology. He was a son to Lucian Malinowski, a professor of Slavic philology, and his mother is Josefa Nilaka in April 7, 1884 at Krakow and died on May 16, 1942 near Haven, US. Bronislaw Malinowski received his early education conducted largely at home and subsequently completing his doctorate in 1908 at Jagiellonian University with highest grade of honor in philosophy. Then, he moved to London at the next quarter century and worked as a prolific writer and published reinterpretation of Australian Aboriginal data. After that, in 1914, he moved to New Guinea and worked for 6 months among the Maelu, and he managed to produce a monograph about the study of Australian family to earn him a Doctor of Science degree from University of London in 1916. Then, he moved to Trobriand Island where he worked for 2 years on 1915 until 1917, and he lived in a tent among people, speaking vernacular fluently, recording text freely on the scene of action, as well as in set interview and observing reaction with an acute clinical eye. Malinowski was able to present a dynamic picture of social institution that clearly distinguished ideal norm from actual behavior. In 1919, Malinowski married Elsie Rosalind Mason, daughter of a professor of chemistry at University of Melbourne, and they had 3 daughters. Next, in his mature career, he became professor in 1927 as one of the most intellectual, vigorous social scientists of his day. Malinowski was active in sponsoring studies of social and cultural change and participated vigorously in educational programs for administrators, missionaries, and social workers. Furthermore, Malinowski became a lecturer at Cornell University in 1933 and in 1936 as recipient of an honorary Doctor of Science degree at the Harvard University tercentenary celebration. When World War II was declared, he became Bishop Museum visiting professor of anthropology at Yale University. He wrote several works that are now considered classic of anthropology and sociology, including Agronauts of the Western Pacific 1922 and Magic, Science and Religion 1948.
Hello guys, so now I will talk about the Bronislaw major contribution or theory that he built. That is a functionalism theory. The concept of functionalism came after the theory of evolution and diffusion. This theory explained the function of different aspects of culture and also the various social institutions found in different culture. Bronislaw believed in biological aspect, and he has a view that every individual has physiological needs which is he or she fulfill through the social institution such as a marriage, family, kinship, and others. In Bronislaw, Malinowski's theory has presented 2 major concepts, and the first one is need. In his theory has said that culture is a means of fulfilling human needs, and there are 3 types of human needs, which is primary, instrumental, and integrative. And the second concept is institution. The aim for this concept is to maintain its social and allow it to continue. Bronislaw Malinowski's contribution is he has conducted a research in the Trobriand Island, which is the east coast of New Guinea, and also published his work in the book, which is Argonauts of the Western Pacific 1922, and also he created a book that is a scientific theory of culture and other essays, and this book has been published posthumously when he propounded functional theory or need theory.
Easy example of functionalism. According to the functionalist perspective of sociology, each aspect of society is independent and contributes to society's stability and functioning as a whole. For example, the government provides education for the children of the family, which in turn pay tax on which the state depends to keep itself running. Let's take a look example of functionalism in biology. Our body has contained multiple organs that function to keep us alive. A heart pumps blood for the entire body system but not for its own sake. The lungs also don't just process oxygen for their own sake. The lungs function so we might alive. Hence, each organ functions to keep an individual alive and not for its own sake. The same applies to cultural functions. It characterizes a particular people group for their survival. In the same manner, functionalism asserts that the function of all aspects of culture or the learned behavior and ideas that are characteristic of a particular people or group is to keep its people and its society alive and kicking. On the other hand, a staunch functionalist could say that since religion is a man-made aspect of culture, it can also function to stabilize society. Human beings experience or encounter anxiety in their lives, and there is a need for stability. Therefore, religion's function lie within a culture from a functionalist perspective. Human beings need religion for their security.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nurfathihah binti Zainal. My metric number is 287354. Okay, why other people need to know about Bronislaw Malinowski? First, Bronislaw Malinowski considered the father of modern anthropology. He is the creator of the school of functionalism, advocate for intense fieldwork, and a forerunner of new method in social theory. Bronislaw Malinowski also published a monograph which is The Sexual Life of Savage in Northwestern Melanesia. He continues on conducting his research in South and East Africa. Next, Bronislaw Malinowski is an active hunter. He spent his time among the local people at different times of the day and night. He tries to see as much as possible and participate in everyday life, but also in ceremonies and rites. Based on his fieldwork in Australia and Oceania, he stated that people are motivated by two types of needs. First, primary. Second is secondary. What is primary? Primary referring stemming from their biology, meanwhile secondary referring to emerging because of their social nature and coexistence with others in a local community. For the new methodology, according to Bronislaw Malinowski, a good researcher focused on trying to see the world with the eyes of the local people and permit through his thinking and filling up until understanding this process. An anthropologist should also establish what is a norm, custom, or a rule in a given community. Researchers also need to speak the local language to make communication easy. So, the revolutionary method of Bronislaw Malinowski results in many theoretical works, including Argonaut of the Western Pacific, the famous The Sexual Life of Savage, and Crime and Custom in Savage Society. That's why other people need to know about Bronislaw Malinowski. Thank you. That's all from me.
Assalamualaikum and hi. My name is Najwa Najihah with matrix number of 288138. I will present about the reflect on the theory and how it changed the face of sociology. Bronislaw Kasper Malinowski introduced the theory of functionalism, where institutions should satisfy the human individual biological needs as the way to understand other cultures, instead of trying to satisfy the needs of society as a whole. This is because, from his view, when the needs of individuals who are a part of society are met, then the needs of society are also met. This theory of his made him the most influential anthropologist of the 20th century. He changed the face of sociology because of his idea on participant observation. Since he followed a methodological method rather than theoretical, he led the participant observation method by living with the people he studies, so he could understand them and participate in their activities. Malinowski played a big part in changing the social anthropology, where it started from an ethnocentric discipline that only based on historical origin or the writing of travelers and changed into trying to understand the interconnections between various institutions and based on the fieldwork. With his goal that is grasp the natives' point of view